Well, back out in the garage after yesterday's Super Smash Brothers sweep. Undefeated, undisputed champion of the world. It feels good. I knew it. What can I say? If you're ever wondering if you're a champion, you're not, baby. You just know. It's something you can feel deep down inside you. I don't know, maybe that was that cup of noodles I ate earlier. It's either that or I'm a champion, baby. Anyway, back in the garage to really do it right, we got Mr. Custome himself. Dude, every day a different color shoes, man. How do you even pick? How many pair of sneaks you got?
Let me tell you. Too many.
Well, Mr. Custome and Shay Lisi over here, she's gonna change her very first jet. You'll learn how to... Carburetors are exactly where most people give up on motorcycles. Number one thing, when someone has a motorcycle that ends up sitting around, and the first thing that trips them up and makes them let it sit, where you see all those projects that said ran when parked, and then it's been sitting for 5 years, a bunch of other stuff ends up happening, but the number one thing that usually happens that makes that happen is carburetor troubles. It's like black magic. People don't know how it works. Here's the thing, it's not hard, it's simple. There's only a few different parts to it, especially these old CVs, so have at it, y'all. All right, well, besides still running a little bit fat, which is okay. Jay Lisi's bike is running like a champ now. Let's see if this thing runs. I mean, I don't see why not. I think I have some 2-stroke oil in here somewhere. Just want to see if we can get one ring-a-ding out of this thing that does not look like it should run at all. I have a gas tank that is just going to sit on there like this. We have some weed whacker fuel. We're rebuilding it anyway, no big deal. And we got some fuel line.
We got some new spark plugs in here too.
I'm probably not. I'm gonna draw the line at those Boom Boom spark plugs that got included with that kit. All right, let's see. Hey, can you bring me the dikes?
Where are they?
I don't know. You tell me with that outfit. you tell me where the dikes are. I'm gonna kick it and the carb's just gonna fall right off. It's gonna get that first kickback and it's gonna shoot the freaking carb off of it.
It'll be in the neighbor's kitchen.
You're an idiot.
Let me tell you how many times before I knew how a carburetor worked that I used to twist the throttle on a non-power jet car, being like, it'll go any time now. Yeah. Until I figured out how a carb worked. I was like, wait, that's not doing anything.
Yeah, that's not doing anything.
Oh no, too much juice.
Something tells me the floats might not be working.
Yeah, that's the...
They might just be a little gummed up.
Whoa.
Believe in the me that believes in you.
Ah, fuck it, dude. Let's go bowling.
All right, y'all. Here with Tiger, back in Stabbin' Wagon Jr., the 87 Dodge camper van. Going to pick up another camper van. This video is really all over the place. And drop off Tiger, of course, because Dave and Cindy are back. Excited to see Dave and Cindy? Yeah, he doesn't know what planet he's on, but he'll be excited soon. Can you tell we're home, Tiger? I wonder if you can smell it. I'm sure you can smell it. He's going home. I'm gonna try to get Tiger's reaction as he sees Dave and Cindy for the very first time. Oh yeah, now you're sniffing home. Been staying at Casa du Brapstar for the past couple weeks. Don't you jump out that window now. Oh dude, I know he's gonna freak out. He's about to jump out the window the second he saw you. Oh, there he goes. That's what.
Look at you.
Every night we would be at home, he'd just sit and be whining and whining. I was like, and for the first night I was just like, what does he want? Does he who? Does he need to go outside? He wants to be picked up. Yeah. Love you guys. Welcome back, Cindy. Tiger.
Oh,
so good to see you.
thank you. Tiger. Oh, I missed my little steak, man.
It's time to leave the Stabbin' Wagon Jr. behind and jump in the Stabbin' Wagon Deluxe. A couple of new batteries and this thing fires up like a charm. Let me tell you what, if you do business in Florida, if you do feet business in Florida and you ain't paying us, we ain't taking our cut, get out of here, dude. Nobody does feet in the Wang without paying the troll toll. We own feet down here. What were we talking, Masubi? Who else is gonna know that? Who else is gonna know that in the chat right now? Masubi.
Oh, dark side
yeah, Masubi, who was like tortured for 300 some days.
Started it all.
That's the first video game streamer, naked. Japanese TV, just they do shit different over there, okay? Shade Tree Army does Japan. We're taking all their foot business.
Imagine going to a dealership and then getting a Kia Soul.
Middle of baking, they're like, I'm out of sugar.
Yo, ouch, dude, ouch.
Get it.
What girls are those, man?
Anime girls.
Yo, that ain't a Scion. That ain't a Scion XB, okay? No matter how bad you want it to be.
Ford a Scion.
Shay was like, the clouds are pink. Anything to distract from that savage burn she just received at the hands of Maria Mew.
It came out meaner than I meant it.
Not meaner than I wanted it to sound, though. Listen up, baby. Shay's over here saying, I'm not trying to become one of those people that make sure their bike is always clean at every minute. I'm like, me either. I'm just trying to come. Luckily, we have the official Maria Mew vibrator. If you guys didn't know, there's an official Maria Mew mushroom pink punch that has a motorcycle setting. What's your code?
It's Maria Mew 20.
If you want the motorcycle setting, the only way to get the motorcycle setting that you can turn on is use the code Maria Mew 20. They copied the vibrations from the Green Goblin. This is the exact motorcycle they came from. Well, turns out the Road King was short-lived. I shouldn't have gone falling in love, Clark. My time with the Road King was very, very short-lived because somebody else saw that Road King literally in one of my Instagram stories and said, hey, that looks awesome, I need to get it too. So I was borrowing it from Birch because I was interested in it, but somebody else beat me to the punch, which that's what happens when you waffle on a bike. Anyway, that puts me on a very unlikely motorcycle right now, which is this guy right here. Something I never thought I'd see on the channel. This is a Vulcan Voyager of the Kawasaki Voyager pedigree, although many people would say that this Vulcan Voyager is actually a downgrade from the original Voyager, but more on that later. The very first bike I ever brought brand new was a Kawasaki Vulcan 1500, and I put over 100,000 miles on that motorcycle. It's actually still running today. So when the Voyager came out, it was always something I was interested in, and I always loved that front fairing. I was always a really, really huge fan of it. Not the Voyager so much as the Vaquero, which was basically like, you know, the stripped down version of this this full dresser. But anyway, let's hop on it. Well, now we're recording. Well, if you'll believe me, I just recorded someone driving the wrong way. Well, of course you believe me, they were in a Prius. Prius drivers getting a bad rap from just a few people the world over. It's basically just like Harley riders who rev bomb everybody, giving them a bad rap. You know, it's all the bad drivers in Prius giving the rest of the crew a bad name. Really, I'm one of the people who just gives other people a bad name. I ain't doing good things out here. Attracted like 6 times going downtown because, you know, there's plenty of assholes, there's plenty of pretty girls walking on the street, and both can be fairly distracting. What I was getting on is that I spent over 100,000 miles on a Kawasaki Mean Streak, which is a 1600. I said 1500 earlier. And I actually pulled up behind a dude on a Yamaha Warrior, which was funny just now because just like most people who ended up on a Kawasaki Mean Streak, the bike I really wanted was a Yamaha Warrior. I just couldn't afford it. Being on this thing brings back some memories, this big Kawasaki. It feels just like my Mean Streak when it accelerates. It's just a lot smoother, a lot more placid, probably because, you know, this bike weighs a few more pounds than the old Mean Streak probably did, and I probably weigh a few more pounds than I did back then too. Full dresser, baby, in every sense of the word, right along with the chrome, with the seating position, the windshield, and the dials. Even though this bike is amazing, and I feel like I could ride it across the country right now, I think that the previous Voyager, the 4-cylinder, was probably a way better bike than this. It definitely was a much faster bike than this, but all that's a story for another day. What I'm really planning on doing is doing a whole video on this bike because, you know, I used to want one really bad. I wanted a Vaquero so bad. I just could never justify it, not with everything else that was available at the time. But we'll save that for later. As always, huge thanks to Bert's Barracuda, not only for keeping metric bikes on the floor and selling them instead of sending them straight to auction, but also for letting my dumbass borrow them. For today, we're going to visit my good friend Ken D. We haven't been down here in a while, and Shaylisi's getting a new tattoo. So tattoos and motorcycles and beer, that's a Saturday I can get behind. What's up, man? So up here at Tiger Temple hanging out while Shay freaking hangs out with her lidocaine patch on, and Ken draws over here with his foot. And he just had a long conversation where we made fun of him, and I was like, Ken, you know, you're probably the best you ever be as an artist. And he said, nah, 15 years ago. But then you look at his oil paintings right now and you're like, dude, Your acrylic, God damn it, your acrylic paintings right now. And I'm like, Ken, you're amazing. Thank you for holding him up for a moment longer, Shandy. You're the best. Jay Lisi's back there about to start getting tattooed, hanging out with Ken at Tiger Temple. And of course, Shandy is good for the soul and also good for a lot of things because Ken has had this mustache wax made forever. He makes it himself. It's all organic. And I said, why don't we put some of this on Brapstar along with a couple other designs we're going to do. So if you're watching this right now, go to brapstar.com. And that's gonna be there.
I thought I had a fucking tumor. I was like, because I was smelling and tasting lemons all the time. So I ordered sap from Maine and organic beeswax from Oregon and all this other stuff that's all organic from all over the United States. And after a couple of years, I got the recipe absolutely perfect. It's the best mustache wax in the world, I guarantee it.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor. One magnificent bastard mustache wax. Made for men, by a man. Unless you're a woman with a mustache, then hey, God bless you, fucking get some.
I don't know what it is, but just getting the stencil on and seeing how your body's going to be changed immediately already is like, yeah, it's so exciting. It's one of the most exciting parts. I love it. You're just like, that's it. That's going to be permanent.
When I left the house, I looked at Drew and I was like, the next time you see me, I'll be changed forever.
But the fun part about tattoo is you can change your body in a way that lasts forever, unless you lose the leg, you know. But even then, losing it up that high is unlikely even.
I'm not a jumper, I don't think.
Cringer. Crier, yeah. I've seen her literally shed a tear before.
It makes me feel goddamn horrible.
I gotta stop putting it on Shay's face, not your best angle. Anyway, Ken just said something very beautiful about art, the proportionate angle of these alligators and Shay Lisi whining like a little baby literally the entire time that she'll be able to cut out through the magic of editing. There's only one place in Tampa you'll find Shade Tree Army motorcycle parking only, and that's at Tiger Temple Tattoos. If you come down here and get a tattoo by my man Ken Dean, you could possibly get a very exclusive Brapstar only package, except I brought a whole package of pins and stickers and patches down here, and Ken was just like, he's keeping them. So stay tuned for another video.
Your exclusive package
where we drop that off.
A parking space.
Yeah, now you just get a parking spot. Maybe next time. Good morning. It's another day. I'm not really sure if it's the next day. I'm not even really sure what planet I'm on right now. I'm definitely sure that I'm still drunk from the night before. And 20 bucks on the bike, man. Yeah, man. All the other ones are just loaners, man. I actually own that one. Yeah, if you see me on a nice one, that means it's somebody else's. Yes. I still fix everything that's wrong with me. Definitely still drunk from the night before. At least I've got something I can rely on. Oh, that leaf probably shouldn't have gone in there. That'll do her. Oh, Jesus. Alright, Josh, you can do this. Oh, man. I am, yeah. Today's a rough one, boys. Not gonna lie to you. A perfect day to lead a group ride, right? I was partying last night. Maybe everybody else was too. It's Sunday morning and Kyle organized a ride and I'm kind of heading up there to lead it. And right now, I'm about -5 minutes early. Maybe everyone else partied last night too. And wait, should I make a left here? Yes, left here. Whew. Maybe everyone else is gonna be -5 minutes early too. Something in the air last night. Oh my gosh, turn it down. Some of us have a hangover. Rude. Baby, this ain't a hangover. I don't really get hangovers. What I have right now was it never left. This ain't the remnants. I'm still experiencing it. Okay, fingers crossed that nobody else decided to be right on time. Well, man, that's the wrong way. I don't have the brain power to deal with this today. Dang, looks like nobody got the memo to show up late, huh? Howdy. Yeah, apparently nobody else got the memo. Everybody showed up right on time. Except for some guys who went to get gas and then came back. They're officially later than I am, so they're the latest ones. It's all your fault, man. Kept me up late last night, dude. It was you, man. It was you.
I had to redeem myself in Smash Bros, but that didn't work.
Yeah. Oh, it's all starting to come back to me now. The monsties work, baby. First half hour there, I just, I felt like I was piloting a machine who the instructions were written in a different language, and I didn't even read the instructions anyway. That's what it felt like to operate my body. Things are becoming more familiar now. I think I'm getting the hang of this whole being alive thing right now. I better get the hang of it soon, because there's like 50 people following me, and I've got my phone, but I'm not exactly known for getting to places within 50 miles of where I live without getting lost. I mean, if we're being honest here, it's everybody's fault back there for following me. It's not really my fault. Y'all know what you're getting into. Yo, I can't believe we got out of Ybor City with the entire group intact. Now that's wild. Apparently we're going to Motorworks Brewery, so that really makes it wild that everybody got out of there together, because I'm kind of just pointing my motorcycle in the general direction and crossing my fingers right now. Hell yeah. It's Sunday. Everybody's out tonight. Oh, hell yeah. I like that. Got some White Monster in me. It's a nice, beautiful, overcast day in Florida, which is sometimes very nice. I got 50 of my friends right behind me. Life ain't bad, baby. It was feeling rough this morning, but I am reborn. I've been baptized and reborn, ready to do battle for another day. But after all that monster, I definitely need a beer. Well, let's hurry up and get to that brewery. Now that's Dave Scott. Nice to see old Dave Scott hanging out in his Mustang. Love it. You guys don't know Dave Scott. He's been in videos, probably not for years, but he's definitely been in a bunch of videos before. He owns a place called The Bad Monkey, which is a bar in Ybor, and he is former General David Scott, by the way, and former general, because nowadays he hangs out with all us ne'er-do-wells in Ybor City. Although I will tell you, he did still used to frequent the dirty shame under cover of the night when he was acting General David Scott. We get all types up at the dirty shame. Dude, I can't believe we're all together, man. Dude, nothing bad could happen. We're gonna make it all there fine. We've already made it 5 miles out of 40. Hello, puppy. Knew it, still together. Another mile, everyone's together. I can't possibly see anything going wrong at all. Perfect, another perfect day, just how I envisioned it.
Traffic gods are blessing us with early yellow lights today.
I know, it's actually working out perfect. I'm really just closing my eyes and crossing my fingers right now, man. I'm not doing great. I stayed up for a long time after you guys left.
Had a long night, early morning.
Tell you right now, there are 2 cars I'll give a wide berth to, and they're right here in succession. That's an Altima with a dented bumper and an old ex-police Crown Vic. 2 of the most dangerous cars on the road, without a doubt. That's Altima with a dented bumper and a baby on board sign, ex-police Crown Vic with blacked out windows, or a Dodge Charger and the floors covered in backwood guts, all right? These are dangerous vehicles. That's the trifecta of stay away from this vehicle. It's probably going to do something stupid. God, I can't imagine being landlocked. I know there's advantages, especially up there in the mountains where the ride is beautiful, but there's something that speaks to my soul being near the sea. Well, the Gulf anyway, not the ocean. Hey, but the Gulf of Mexico will do. That's right. I don't care. I'm taking the shady spot. We made it. And of course, Hook Boy's in town. Mr. Troy himself. Let me tell you what, baby, you come home late at night and you pull the covers off your old lady and the top of her cooter's got a freaking heat rash on it. you know old Troy's been sneaking around your back door, all right? He leaves a mark wherever he goes. I always love this. My man How to Ride a Chopper over here, which, you know, every passing year it gets harder and harder to ride, it looks like. A couple years ago, he came down here just to hang out for a few weeks. And Florida took him.
Florida's like a fungus. It grows on you.
Hey, baby, even scum rises to the top sometimes. All right, y'all, just give it up for everybody who hangs out in the premiere chats, because they're the ones who actually bought the first round today. It's easy to be generous with somebody else's money. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to address something on here that, believe it or not, I have actually addressed in other videos, but I didn't think I was going to have to talk about it again, although now looking back on it, it seems ridiculous. Of course, I have to bring this up every once in a while. I got a call from David this morning from Forgotten Angels, and he told me he had received an email from somebody whose name or username I will not mention, who had said to him that him and a supposed group of people who had bought $9,300 worth of raffle tickets could no longer support Forgotten Angels. They could no longer support the cause. Why can't they do it? The reason they can't do it, apparently, the reason they gave him is because they can't support these young men who have aged out of the foster care system. They can't support them because they're affiliated with people who drive drunk and with drug addicts. Yes, he has withdrawn all support from Forgotten Angels, $9,300 worth from what he said, because I drive drunk and Shay Lisi is a drug addict. Maybe I'm a drug addict too. I didn't actually make sure if it was just Shay Lisi that was the drug addict or if it was me too. I know I'm the drunk driver because Shay Lisi doesn't drink. Whether that's ridiculous or not, more on that in just one second. I want to just share something with you guys that I always think people should just assume and that they should know and that I shouldn't have to talk about because I feel like I shouldn't have to explain myself. But I'm going to go ahead and do it because it is fair and sometimes people need an explanation. You guys see a very small part of what we actually do. These couple videos a week, while I share a lot more of myself than a lot of other YouTubers do, and I like sharing what I do with you guys. I like sharing myself. I like sharing my life. But you guys still see a very, 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 very tiny slice of what we do and how we do things. That's not because I'm intentionally hiding stuff or I'm intentionally leaving stuff out. We're talking about 2 30-minute episodes a week. Life is a lot bigger than that. But I get it, and I'm not even angry. I'm not even angry at the person who wrote this. Again, more on that later. Sometimes it's easy to forget when you watch YouTube, and because Shay and I share so much of ourselves and we're so honest, sometimes you forget that there's so much else there. There's so much more to that iceberg, I promise you, that you do not see. Things that we do that I just don't talk about all the time, or precautions we take that I just don't talk about all the time, because you should know that. This is something I've brought up over the years multiple times. We'll talk about it again. And that's the having beers while going out and riding your motorcycle. I leave my motorcycle places all the time. When I leave my motorcycle somewhere, if it happens to fit into a video, I'll put it in there. I'll film myself going back to get my motorcycle because I had what I deemed were too many beers to safely drive it home. I don't feel the need to talk about this every time we do it because to me, it just is the right thing to do, and it almost seems like this weird virtue signaling. Like I have to be like, hey, by the way, I left it. I did the right thing. Like, no, I did my thing. And when it's time to do the right thing, I absolutely do it. I don't feel the need to wear that on my sleeve whatsoever. When we go out, when you see me filming, riding the motorcycle, and we going out and having beers, yes, we'll have a few beers. We'll have a couple different beers throughout different locations throughout the day. It's as easy as that, man. And so if you're a 0 beers while you ride, if you're like any amount of impairment is too much, then yes. Guess what? There's always somebody who's holier than thou. There's always somebody who's got a bigger dick. You could be the guy who drinks not one single beer, and I would say that most of the time we're probably well within the legal limit. If we're outside of it, it's by an infinitesimal amount. But again, if you're 0 and you want to get up on a high horse and yell at me, there's a million other things that people do on the road where they could be better than you. Like I said, the virtue signaling on how holy you're going to be on the road is just how long is a piece of string. It's never ending. And personally, for me, in order to condemn going out, having a few beers, staying within or around the legal limit, while you're also gonna say it's okay to go and yell at your kids, while you're saying it's okay to eat food in the car, change the radio station, look at your phone, and while some of these things are illegal, certainly, none of them carry the actual weight that if you're a half a beer over the limit, that carries. So I'm not gonna crap on anybody when there's people out there doing stuff behind the wheel, doing their makeup, texting, calling, talking to people. Like, where does it stop? That's just my personal opinion, and that's why I don't get on anybody who has a few beers when they go out and ride. And that's the explanation I'll give other people when they want to talk about it as well. I know my limits, I know what I can do, I know the boundaries of my safety realm, and I stay well within them, because guess what? I actually like being alive, and I also really don't want to go to jail. Trust me. When you sit here and go like, oh my gosh, they're out at a bar, they're drinking, you don't see everything else that happens. You don't see it when bikes get left behind. You only see the small amount that we film and put out there. And usually I don't film going back to get the bike. And you know what? I talk a lot, sometimes I exaggerate too. In this very video, I said, I'm still drunk from the night before. What I meant was I'm tired. Was I still drunk from the night before? Absolutely fucking not, I wasn't. If this is something that you need explained to you every time it happens in a video, or you're not gonna feel good about helping a charity, if you can't help a charity because I need to explain this literally every single time we have a beer in a video, something tells me you're watching the wrong content. And also, let me go ahead and touch on Shay Lisi, which I assume is what he meant by the drug addict. If you think that Shay smoking a little bit of grass is a drug addict, my friend, you have not seen a drug addict. The reason I'm so confident in saying that is Shay used to have a serious problem with drugs. Very hard drugs that almost cost her a lot of things. Drugs where she was stealing from her family, caused her to almost drop out of school. Drugs that almost ruined her life and could have gotten her killed. You think what she does is a drug addiction? You have not seen what drug addiction looks like. What she does is some recreational and medicinal drugs, like so many people across the United States do. Really go ahead and just meet a drug addict. That's not what a drug addict looks like. Shay Lisi runs a successful business. She works 7 days a week. She has healthy relationships with all the people around her, and she's an incredibly productive member of this society. Drug addicts? Try again. And hey, maybe you've just never experienced what an actual drug addict's like. I hope you never have to. Because experiencing actual drug addiction from a person that you love is one of the most heartbreaking things you can possibly imagine. And guess what? Forgotten Angels, the place that you donated $9,300 to and can't donate another dollar to because of myself and Shay Lisi, you think some of those kids didn't come there with real drug addictions? You think that we don't know what real drug addiction looks like and how it can tear families apart and ruin lives? You think that that's what it looks like? You're a fool if you think that. I don't hate you for that. I'm not mad at you for that. But you are a fool if you think that that's what it looks like. A naive, sheltered, suburbanite fool. I'm sorry. So on to how I actually feel about it now that I've explained myself, which I don't like to do a lot because it's an awful lot like virtue signaling to me. It's a lot like, look how good we are. Look how good I am. I do all these nice things. I don't like doing that, man. I don't like having to explain myself. Like, Lee, trust me, I got this. It means I also accept the consequences, because when you don't want to explain yourself, you get somebody like this naive, sheltered, suburbanite fool who thinks that this is what reckless behavior and drug addiction look like. You know, I'm guilty of not explaining myself. Certainly, I can admit that. So I know I'm not mad at that. I'm not even mad at somebody for thinking that. It doesn't make me angry. I get it. I know part of it is just my lack of showing the other side of this, my lack of total documentation. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not ever gonna do it. I'm gonna have to make this same part of a video again one day, I promise you. As I said, I have said this exact same thing probably like 4 times over the past 12 years of making YouTube videos. What really gets me about this, and this is something that David brought up, it's not something that I thought of myself, because like I said, this didn't hurt my feelings, it didn't make me angry. I get it, I understand. I think it's foolish, naive, short-sighted, and I think you're missing a lot of things if those are the conclusions you jump to, but it doesn't make me mad because I understand it can happen. I even can understand it happening with people who like me and like my videos. What David brought up, which really got me, is just this withdrawing of support from these young men, from Forgotten Angels, saying, I'm no longer supporting this foundation because of something somebody else did who does not work for the foundation. I don't work for Forgotten Angels. I don't take $1 from Forgotten Angels. All we do is talk about the cause. We've donated some vehicles to it. We've donated some money. And then me and Shay Lisi make videos about it so other people know about it and they can donate money too. Just because you don't like one person who has contributed, that's enough for you to say, like, I can't possibly support this? And what kind of person does that? And that really threw me for a loop, because I didn't think about that. And I don't know who that person is or what they look like or what they're thinking when they say, I can't do this good thing because somebody else who is just kind of around did something I don't like. I think David described it best to me when he was talking about it. He said, if the person in question had a family member who needed a chemotherapy treatment and they needed whatever, $10,000 to do it, and otherwise the person would die. Now, if the person, someone else was gonna donate that $10,000, but the person who is donating it was me, somebody who has driven after drinking beers, do you let your loved one die? Do you let them perish because you couldn't possibly accept $10,000 from somebody who's had a few beers and ridden a motorcycle, or from somebody who smokes a little grass every now and then? It really doesn't make a lot of sense. And it was really confusing. I didn't really think about it like that. And the only conclusion I can come to is that the guy was maybe using his large donation of $9,300 as some sort of leverage tool to get myself and Shaylisi fired. Like, I don't like the way they're acting, so I'm gonna come in and be a big baller. I'm the guy who comes in and spends a lot of money. I'm a good customer, and I don't like your employees. I want you to fire them because you'll lose my business. You'll lose my charity. But the problem with that is I don't work for David. I don't work for Forgotten Angels. Neither does Shaylisi. We don't work there, man. They can't fire us. I've gone on for too long already. I'm already tired of talking about it. I want you guys to enjoy the rest of the video. You know, it's okay if you operate a little bit outside of the law. That's kind of what we do around here. It fits right within the limits of we are bad people doing good things. And some people won't understand that, and that's okay. Because something that Shaylisi and I have always wanted to do is show you that you don't have to be a perfect human being to help somebody. You don't have to be I go to church on Sunday, by God, I follow every rule. I'm absolutely whitewashed, perfect, stand-up citizen, war hero, I'm the most amazing person. You don't have to be that person to do good things in this world. You can be a little rough around the edges. You can be a little scuzzy. You can be down in the gutter with us, and you can still do good things in this world. And for all those people out there who think that you have to be perfect and they don't want to help anybody who isn't perfect, help some people in need, I don't think we need them anyway. If you want me, I'll be hanging out at the back of the bus with the sinners, and we're just gonna go ahead and shove it into the face of all the people who said that we couldn't do anything good with their lives, because I don't believe that for a second. We might have a little too good of a time sometimes. We might be chaotic, good, reckless optimists, but we are bad people doing good things. Y'all remember that. Back to the video. Oh, and speaking of bad people doing good things, I'm gonna have a link down below if you would like to win a chopper or a 100 horsepower sports tour or one of 3 all expenses paid fishing trips. But we are running a raffle right now that is benefiting people who have survived Hurricane Ian. It's all going to Hurricane Ian relief directly to families in need. It's not hitting any branches on the way down. It's not hitting Mr. Goody Two-Shoes $9,300 who needs to hire someone to do a background check on every single person who donates $1 to the cause. That's not what's happening. We are imperfect people doing good deeds, baby. And there'll be a link right down below. It's gambling for a good cause. There's a lot of people out there who lost everything. Go ahead and click that link, and let's prove this guy wrong.
It's never goodbye. It's just bon voyage. I had a Schwartz beer over here at Motorworks Brewing that was phenomenal. That was exactly what I needed, too. Just a little bit of the hair of the dog that bit me. Except that dog didn't really bite me. Me and that dog are good friends. I headed back to Tampa from Bradenton solo. Hated to leave the group early, but believe it or not, again, because everyone sees just these videos, you don't get to see every moment of my life. Although maybe it seems like that sometimes, but I do still do stuff like help people move. I do very normal stuff like that every single day, I promise you. I had to leave the group right early because one of my very good friends needs my help. They need help moving stuff because they're moving. You know, I'm not very smart, but I can still lift heavy things. One of my few talents.
All right, man. I'm pretty sure there's a glitch in the Matrix right now because we are in a very similar situation that we were in the last video that came out, if you remember that. And yeah, this is on the end of another video, but holy moly, man. Hanging out with you we've been putting down some freaking miles, man. And by the way, no one made one single remark about the cargo light giving off a romantic glow. I thought it made a really great Joe Diffie joke, and everyone would just focus like, blah, 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 $1 million Bogan spike. Not a single word about Joe Diffie. No. Sad. Not once. All right, let's go to Pennsylvania. All right, we've hit the light. Me and Alex have been up for a few days, 2 days, 3 days. At this point, does it really matter? What I do know is my man Diplomat here, once again, a little birdie told him about a real good deal up here in Pennsylvania. But we got to get there before 5 o'clock to get that deal. We're moving. So we're moving. In fact, let me put down this camera. We're moving. Let's go. I'm gonna muster the last of my strength to tell you guys that yes, we made it back. If you want The rest of the story on this Dyna, you are gonna have to go see Alex's channel because I'm about to go rack out and I don't have the energy to tell you about this thing right now. It is badass, but we just figured out that this whole week started on Monday at Jared Weems' house with his motorcycle giveaway, and then Tuesday morning at 4:30 a.m. we headed down to Miami to pick up $1 Million Bogan's bike. We got back to Tampa at about 7 p.m. We went out, we drank beers, we rode motorcycles, we did the live stream, and we didn't sleep. And then we left at midnight Wednesday, and we drove there and back. Now it's Friday morning at 9 a.m. Like I said, this all started at 4:30 in the morning on Tuesday. Wait, yeah, 4:30. I keep getting confused at 4:30 and not 4:30. Anyway, let's get some sleep. If you want to know more about this, the mystery bike that we just drove across the country and back to pick up, go subscribe to Diplomat.
The final resting place of Brabstar. Well, not this piece of Brabstar history, though. The Rocket 3, back in action, baby. Well, my GoPro died earlier, so I don't know what all I got of the grand return of Ozymandias, the great white buffalo, my Triumph Rocket 3 over here. It's also the grand return of Willem Dafoe's The Green Goblin. Although he's had several grand returns at this point, the Heart Attack Kid over here keeps on coming back. Baby, we loud now. They're gonna hear us coming. These are the horns of Gabriel right here. Damn, that bike looks good though. So does the Rocket 3 though, baby. I don't know, what do you guys say? 3 cylinders, 2300 cc's, or that 1200 cc V-twin, man? They both got fans, that's for sure. Oh my God, it's just with that Cobra pipe on it and the baffle out, it's just about as loud too. Ozymandias and the Green Goblin, baby. All hail the king. Look upon my works, ye mighty, and tremble. Oh my God, dude, the Green Gob, Willem Dafoe. It lives. Of course it lives, though. What is dead may never die. Baby is back.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, it's always a little bit of performance anxiety whipping out your camera in front of an actual professional. My lens is tiny compared to hers. Anyway, we're sitting down here. What's your Instagram? Silvermoon_custom_art __. We're getting ready for the launch at Cowboy Cure, baby. You guys have heard me talk about this in all our cross-country trips. This is the stuff that Shay and I have been working on personally and been through about, God, it feels like a dozen different formulas at this point until we found the right combination that works for us, isn't sticky, and actually does what it's supposed to, that pain cream. And my very first time taking what we'll call lifestyle photos for the website. Feels a little odd, but you know what? Whenever there's pretty girls involved, you ain't got to tell me twice.
Yeah, and then put your left hand up on your, yep, and just kind of, yeah, good.
Oh, dude, you look hard as a concrete dildo, baby.
Photo shoot over. It's time to roll on home and get on Twitch, baby. It don't ever stop, man. We always having fun. A lot of people will call work. They'd be like, you guys work so hard. You're fucking doing the photo shoot. You're rolling home. You're doing all this stuff. You get back on Twitch. Let me tell you what, it ain't work. We're just having a good time. And the good time never stops. My man, dude. That Cholo bike is looking good, baby. That thing is all right. The Green Goblin, the Cholo bike, the Ozymandias, the Rocket 3, baby. Listen up. This is a good-looking trio right here, man. Worthy of a photo shoot, all right? Worthy of a photo shoot. She understands the mission.
All right, y'all, that's gonna about do it for this video. It's a totally different day with totally different things happening, and I have to leave you guys behind because there's somebody else's behind that is very sorry is drawing all my attention right now. And we're not gonna have this bike for too much longer, so before it leaves, I want to take a few pictures to remember it by. A few pictures for you guys to remember it by if you know the right place to look. Yeah, I am. Anyway, till next time, y'all.
Bye, guys.
Keep it weird.